Hi Scorpios, welcome to your mid-September 2017 Tarot update. Thank you very much for tuning in. I do remind you that this is a general reading, so please check out your other signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Whatever sign resonates with you, you'll find little tidbits of information and different messages for you in the different readings. And if you still want a personal reading with me, something more specific, tailored to you as opposed to a general reading, then please reach out to me. You can send me an email at solitairethesailor@gmail.com or visit my brand new Etsy shop. I am having a promo since it is a new store, and I would love to have some good reviews, some reviews in general on there. So check that out. You won't be disappointed. All right, Scorpios. We're just gonna pull a few cards. And this reading is going to be a bit shorter than the September readings, but please watch that one if you are still a bit unsure. This is just an update, so it will be shorter. But let's get right to this reading. All right, Scorpios, the first card giving the general indication of the overall energies at play for you for the rest of the September. We have Four of Cups. Okay, so I do feel like for a lot of you Scorpios, you guys are finally making headway. You guys are finally you're amassing things without having them slip away. So it's like, I feel like a lot of you Scorpios are used to, taking a few steps forward, but then taking like 10 steps back. And I feel like this card is saying that, okay, now you're kind of steadily making progress. You're just moving forward one foot after the other, and you're starting to actually see some change, some progress, some improvements in your situation, and I feel like you're getting closer to whatever finish line, whatever idea you have for the type of life that you have for yourself, or whatever goal that you've set. You're actually making, you're gaining some distance towards that. So this Four of Cups is like a card of stability, a card of holding things close to you, close to your heart. And so I feel like you're not letting things slip away, and you're holding on tight to those things. And I feel like sometimes this card can be, a bad thing. And I feel like sometimes people have a tendency to kind of hold on really tight for fear of losing those things. But I feel for some reason, for you guys, for most of you Scorpios, this is very good energy, because finally it's like, you're things around you aren't so temporary. Things aren't just, built to break. You're actually building something substantial, something of value. And I feel like this is really good energy. And I feel like it's been a long time coming, and I'm very happy for you Scorpios. I feel like, you guys are being a little bit more dedicated to a certain cause. You guys are being more, you have your eye on the prize, and you're being more careful. You're not letting your anger or your emotions get the best of you. You're kind of honing them in and learning how to master those emotions, so that you don't, some of you, it's really intense. Like, you don't destroy, the relationships that you have, or the good things in your life. You don't, self-sabotage. And then for others of you, it's a little more relaxed than that. It's like you guys are finally like learning to just, not lash out and not have these emotional breakdowns. And I feel like you guys are finding a little bit more stability, and that's really reflecting in your life right now, because you're seeing some progress, and I feel like you guys are so happy because you guys can see what you guys can do by just keeping your emotions in check. So really good energy here. The next card is something for you guys to take note of. Okay, the King of Cups in reverse. So, Scorpios, this is your card. So, I do feel like some of you may feel like, okay, am I kind of like, you know, toning myself down? Am I losing parts of myself? Because you guys are, you know, kind of having, you guys are tightening the reins a little bit on your emotions, and it's like you're so used to kind of like, you know, being able to just express yourself and to express who you are, and to just, you know, kind of give in to your urges and what your gut is telling you. You guys are so connected to your instinct and your intuition. And I feel like for some of you Scorpios, you may be feeling like, okay, you know, am I going to be numbing that part of me down? Am I going to lose that sort of connection with myself? And I feel like, no, you guys are not. You guys have nothing to worry about. I feel like, you know, you may be starting to think that way because you're getting scared of, you know, finally making some progress, finally making changes in your life. And I feel like you need to stand strong in what you're doing, and to just keep being brave and keep being strong and keep making that progress. I feel like for some of you Scorpios as well, you may feel, or you may not realize, that you guys are kind of being a little bit too like not materialistic, but you guys may be kind of like refusing to, it's I see very extreme things here. Like, first, there's a duality here for sure. And for some of you Scorpios, it's like you guys are focusing so much on like, okay, I'm getting ahead, I don't want anyone to get in my way, and you're kind of tuning out, you're blocking out, you know, everyone's energy, good and bad. And I feel like sometimes you know, you may be kind of pushing people away that you don't realize you are. And then for some of you Scorpios, it's like you guys are on the other end, and you guys are kind of like, okay, I am getting somewhere, I'm making progress, I see good things for me, and now I just want to share that with everybody. And I feel like you guys are like planning on like, you know, spending a lot, or kind of treating people in your life, you know, treating them out for like nice dinners or a nice getaway, or just giving them some nice things. And I feel like, you know, it doesn't have to be a bad thing necessarily. I feel like if some people need it, you know, that could be just you reaching out to your heart. But I feel like you want to sort of be careful of people taking advantage of you and taking advantage of this. You know, they might see that, okay, this person's doing so well now, he's very well off, or she, and, you know, you guys are finally making some progress. You don't want people bringing you down. So just watch out for that. And now the next card is general advice for you Scorpios. And we have the moon in the reverse position. Okay, so definitely I feel like you guys are handling your emotions, and this card, this major arcana card, is sort of supporting that. It's the moon card is a very intuitive card with very instinctual energy. We have these wolves here, kind of you know, representing that wild side. And of course, wolves tend to have a connection in modern culture and ancient culture as well with the moon. And the moon represents, you know, our emotions, our subconscious. This is all water energy. This is all your element. So I feel like you guys are really kind of taking the time this month to really kind of work on yourself, that inner work. And I feel like it's not always going to be, you know, 100% in the right direction, in forward direction, but I feel like you guys are definitely overall making headway, making progress, and I feel like the setbacks and the mistakes and the slip-ups are definitely not as much as they have been in the past and that you're used to. And so I feel like, as general advice, I feel like you Scorpios need to just continue doing what you're doing. I feel like this reinforces this Four of Cups. And to me, this is, you know, handling your emotions. This is focusing on things that, you know, other things in your emotions, focusing on the material world, focusing on, you know, on the practical matters of life. So your career, your home, your finances, your just the everyday responsibilities and duties that you have. I feel like you guys are definitely you're putting more effort into that, and you're prioritizing that. And so your kind of temper, or your moodiness, your moods are kind of taking the back seat, which I feel like is a good thing. It's a positive trait for you guys to develop, because Scorpios, you can be a bit intense emotionally, and so I feel like this is definitely just reminding you to keep it up and to kind of realize that there is a time and a place, and you don't have to be owned, you don't have to be controlled by the swaying of your emotions, because it can be like that, like waves, and it can be like the ocean, just so intense, so enormous, and it can kind of take you over. So I feel like definitely you guys are mastering that, and you guys are kind of really gaining enough emotional and personal strength and confidence for you to overpower that ocean of emotions, which I feel like is really good. And so let's see the outcome card for you guys. This is like what's going to make up pretty much the rest of September for you, and what is going to be like a change or something of that nature. And we have Page of Wands in reverse. All right, so all of a sudden we have fire energy. So all of a sudden, I do feel like towards the end of the month, you want to make sure that you're not falling victim to your old ways, your old habits, your self-sabotaging, mental thoughts. I feel like this Page of Wands is kind of a warning almost. We have a lot of water energy here, a lot of, good things, a lot of connection to, yourself and your intuition. And then all of a sudden we have this Page of Wands, and this is like a primal, it's very raw energy as well, but this is more action oriented as opposed to, your feelings. And I think that, again, this Page of Wands is like a warning sign in reverse, and this to me is indicating that, you may be kind of so focused on getting ahead and so happy with your progress that, you may just kind of find yourself all of a sudden, like, it's almost like you have stage fright. And so you guys are like, you guys are making progress, you guys are doing good, and then all of a sudden it's like you realize where you are. So it's almost like a cat that's like climbing a tree or climbing a building or something, and they can make it to the top because they're just so focused on climbing, but then once they get to the top, they kind of stop, they take a look around, take a look at how far they've come, and they freeze up. They're almost like paralyzed, and they can't get down, and they can't do anything because they're overcome by fear. I feel like this Page of Wands is kind of warning you that, you don't have to get scared of what happens. You do have everything that you need. Try to remember your strengths and remember what you can do and what you are capable of. Because this Page of Wands in reverse can indicate kind of like scattered thoughts, a scattered brain, and an inability to kind of complete what you're doing, to finish, to kind of, go for the kill, to finish it off, to close the deal. And I feel like you Scorpios need to remember that, if you feel like, you're all of a sudden like backed up into a corner, or you're feeling afraid, like you don't know how you got to where you've gotten to, please Scorpios, just try to take a deep breath, regain your composure. Please remember that you have made it this far. You do deserve good things, and I feel like some of you Scorpios may be tempted to say like, well, I made it this far, that's good enough. No, Scorpios. Know when, of course you need to know when, when to quit, but I feel like you should also realize when you're just afraid, you're just being scared, and you don't want to be selling yourself short, Scorpios. I do feel like you guys are really going the distance here, and I feel really amazing things coming. Don't get scared.